Hello and congratulations. It's a beautiful day here in Columbia, Missouri. Although this celebration is virtual, your accomplishments are real. And we are so proud of you. Many thanks to the family, friends, Mizzou faculty, and staff who supported your journey. If the events of the last 2 months have shown us anything, it is that you are patient, you are resilient, and you care deeply about your fellow citizens. Each one of you has overcome a struggle of one type or another to reach this day. Some may have doubted you. You may have doubted yourself, but you also knew that you were too legit to quit. Too legit to quit because there's so much important work ahead. That work won't be easy because you'll be dealing with real life. I want to share some words from a writer, Ken Key. He said, "Some people are illogical and self centered, but love them anyway. The good that you do today may be forgotten tomorrow, but do good anyway. Honesty and frankness make you vulnerable, but be honest and frank anyway. The biggest ideas that you have can be shot down by the smallest minds, but think big anyway. Give the world your very best, and you may still get knocked in the teeth. But give the world your very best each and every day. Today's the start of something even greater than yourself. You are the class that will carry the world on your back. So we are looking to you, our new generation of leaders. I hope you can spend today with your loved ones and remember the little moments that culminated in this magnificent accomplishment. Congratulations.
Graduates of 2020, what a pleasure it is for me to address your class on this big day. I am the incoming Executive Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs, and in this role I will be working closely with Dean Zweig and Jonathan Curtright, the CEO of MU Healthcare, to move our enterprise into the next decade. While I'm arriving at the same time that you are graduating from the medical school, what we both have in common is that we are entering new phases of our medical careers. Of course, you are just entering the most dynamic and gratifying part of your careers as you become a physician and in which you can make enormous impact on individual patients and society. I, on the other hand, am beginning a new path late in my career, and I hope that I can still have an impact on healthcare delivery and research and education. But I envy you as you are taking the first steps as newly minted physicians. There are so many challenges and opportunities that are literally just around the corner for all of you. And in the next few years, you will have an exponential growth curve as a physician in both your knowledge base and in your skills as you embark on the journey to become a mature physician. I know the training which you have received at this great medical school will serve you well in this journey. Dean Zweig and I look forward to hearing from you in the years to come. Please check in and let us know where your journey has taken you. The main advice that I would give to you as you begin the path as a physician is to always regard every patient you encounter with empathy and make an attempt to connect with them as a fellow human being and not just as a patient. In this very odd COVID era, many of us have been seeing our patients on Zoom. I have been doing a Zoom telemed clinic for 3 years for ALS patients that live in rural Kansas. It is amazing to me how much we can do as physicians remotely through this technology. And I am repeatedly struck by how grateful the patients are for the connection that can still be obtained via telemed. And it occurred to me during my last telemed clinic in Kansas City last week that it works because the patients can feel that I am truly concerned about them, no matter if I am holding their hand in person or looking at them directly through a monitor. After all of the knowledge and skills you learn in medical school and residency and fellowship, I really believe that what is the most important is the empathy you show your patients in every encounter. Having empathy will not only make you a better physician, but will make your journey a labor of love. Congratulations and thank you for allowing me to be part of this most important day.
Hi, I'd like to add my welcome to our graduates, their friends, and family members, faculty and staff members of the School of Medicine, to this commencement ceremony for the 2020 graduates of the MU School of Medicine. Thank you, President and Chancellor Choi, for your remarks, and thanks also to our new Executive Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs, Dr. Rick Barron. They, like me, wish that they could be here with you today. This is a year none of us will forget. Not only ceremonies like this were interrupted, but it's been also a time when our communities were changed. They were changed through the illness and even death caused by the viral pandemic, and our social shutdown, which helped to limit the spread of the disease. But our nurses, physicians, and health system stood up to the task by providing expert care to our patients and helping to guide the community's behavior. And while the experience of our medical students was totally disrupted, they too contributed in ways that were possible. You've worked hard to get to this place. It doesn't look like an end to your career at MU that any of us would have expected, but it's still real and true. You've struggled and studied and demonstrated the learning and skills that afford you a degree in medicine. You will, just like all the classes before you, go forward and become physicians. You will struggle and learn more during your training and then go on to independent practice. But you'll never really be alone, and you'll never stop learning. Your classmates, your relationships with faculty members, and your experience here at MU will always be a part of you. What you learned here will help shape you as a unique and powerful force for healing, for reducing suffering, for investigating disease, and for teaching those who come after you. So no matter the circumstance, this is a great day. You've earned your degree. Enjoy the celebrations of the day. And I wish I could be there to shake your hand and say, well done, and keep in touch. We will be here for you.
When I originally wrote this speech, I imagined looking around, seeing all of your faces, giving an extra big smile. Can you just zoom in here and add a little ding? To some of our unsung heroes I consider to be pillars of our medical school journey, I'd like to take just a moment to recognize some of them now. First is Anna Cox, our self-described den mother whose glow up from the basement of the nursing school to her new office on the 5th floor of the PCCLC, iconic. Anita Berry, CEO of Vintage Clip Art, holiday reminders, and meticulously detailed emails about your medical student locker. Katie Balu, queen of the infamous pumpkin spice snack day. I could go on, but you know if I am going to be anything, it is respectful of your time. So let's buckle in and do this thing. Let me take you back to the moment I found out that you all voted for me to do this. Sit alone in a room and talk to a camera. It's 5 a.m. I'm laying in my mom's childhood bed halfway around the world in Metro Manila, Philippines. I can hear chickens outside. The air is sticky, like your arm sticks to your side and you literally peel yourself out of bed, 100% humidity sticky. There is no air conditioning, and I only have 2 gigabytes of data. I'm in the Philippines for a month to spend time with my grandfather, an 89-year-old general surgeon who still goes on medical mission trips supervising teams of doctors because although he does not operate anymore, he sees where his skills and ability meet a need, and he believes that that is something worth giving his life to. It is something that he has done his whole life. Alongside the person he calls the brains of the operation, my cardiologist grandmother. They both chose to spend over 30 years serving the tribal communities of our home country. As for me, I get to regularly reflect on how I feel like I'll never measure up in every personal statement, Common App, AMCAS, ARIS, and now this. I want my life to be meaningful, and I guess I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like. And maybe it's something about growing up. Maybe a few of you have been thinking about it too. This brings me to my first point, and that is a question I have for each of you. What are you giving your life to? We all choose what we give our life to, whether it is our friends, our family, our work, our sports team, go Chiefs, You have one life and incredible skill and opportunity. What will you do with it? I remember our first week of orientation, someone said that the School of Medicine owns our time now. I had such a metaphorical knee-jerk reaction to this, where you stretch the metaphorical quadricep tendon long fibers that get hashtag triggered. You're a doctor now. You can just Google it. But I just remember thinking, how toxic is that mindset? I told myself no. Nobody was going to own my time, my life. In that moment, I made a decision. The endless hours of the 3 objectives for Dr. Wilden, showing up to the Sim Center 15 minutes early only to have to sign a form saying that you were only 14 minutes early. If I was going to climb this mountain, it had to be my choice. I had to own it. We all have to own our choices, and I hope that we can see what is next, going through residency, as something that is worth it and something we choose. When things are inevitably hard, you will push back with a little positivity. That you will remember that this is something you're choosing because you decided that it's worth it. Remember why you chose this. On this day that is supposed to be a momentous occasion, a celebration of your hard work, to say the least, it is very different than how we imagined it, right? But I want to take a moment to validate your journey because these past 4 years have been anything but easy. We have had our share of laughs and good times, but there have also been very real stress, anxiety, and tears. This all ties together into my third and final point, which is maybe my greatest hope for each of you. And that is, in taking care of others, please do not forget to take care of yourself. In this season of life that we are all living right now, this upside-down reality, it has really challenged me to think about the balance of responsibility I have not only to others, but also myself. We are also living in an epidemic of mental health. And my heart is moved to say that I know that this journey has taken a toll on us all, and some more than others. If you feel alone, please reach out. And if you feel like you have margin in your life, please reach out to check on that person who you haven't really talked to in a while and they're probably busy and they might not even respond. Your strong friend who's always okay. You never know when the kindness that you show to somebody might be exactly what they are needing in that moment. Let us remember one another and lift each other up and make our workplaces somewhere people look forward to being. We are career perfectionists. Give yourself permission to feel and be messy, to cry, to grieve, to heal fully and completely. Let us all agree to give one another the grace to show that we are not perfect, that we get tired, that we are so privileged to be so educated, and yet things could be better. When things get hard, cry, but eventually find something to laugh about. And let's vent and process and raise our voices where we see room for improvement, speak out against injustice, complain constructively. I'm on the plane ride home, and already my memories are more dim than they were just a few hours ago. I try to hold on to the faces in the old house where my mother grew up, but it's slipping. And sometimes that's a blessing. I know that I can get through anything because one day the hard things will be in the past, hazy and glossed over. But when things are this precious, it becomes bittersweet. Maybe I'll just remember the best parts, or at least I hope so. It is your life. You choose what to do with it. What will you give your life to? Do you remember why you chose this and why you still choose it today? Take care of others, but please, do not forget to take care of yourself.
Well, I never expected to have the honor of giving a graduation speech, and certainly not to be saying it from my kitchen table. If anything, I expected to be sitting at my kitchen table today while all of you were allowed to graduate. But in 2020, it seems like you have to be ready for anything. 1 minute, you're sitting in your bathtub, enjoying a nice salami and cheese sandwich, and the next, you're needing to conjure up some speech full of wisdom when you know you didn't even remember to wear shoes to school some days. For all the family listening today that was lucky enough to have never met me, these 110 incredible humans have put up with me for the last 4 years like the little sister they never asked for or needed, constantly annoying them and frequently embarrassing them. If I weren't already in debt up to my eyeballs, I would probably owe you all something for this endless patience, but you're going to have to take that up with financial aid. With that being said, there is not a chance I'm going to inspire you with some level of enlightenment I don't have, or implore you to act a certain way moving forward. Because, as most of you all know, my troll DNA only encodes for cheese puns, weird smells, and terribly inappropriate laughter. So I need to stay as far away from giving advice as possible. What I can offer you, however, is the most sincere message of gratitude for leading me on an unexpected journey to making me the richest, yet poorest medical student in modern times. When you begin medical school, it is terrifying to think about how in your new class you may just be an average student. To someone so competitive they lost a tooth to another girl's forehead in elementary PE class, that fact seemed simply unacceptable. But alas, it took barely a week for me to realize that it would be an honor for someone to even compare me to this group of outstanding doctors. I didn't need to be first, 55th, or even 109th. Their brains are what seem to be these vast caverns of sponge, hungry for knowledge with a relentless work ethic that never seems to run out of steam. This became apparent while we dug in and studied for our first board exam. Day after day, I'd skip up the library stairs to find each table already filled with the same bleak colored sweatshirts on. Every day I wondered the same thing. What time did they get there? What time did they leave? Did they ever leave? How did they fit enough meat in their pockets to stay here so long? Some questions I never got answered. What they didn't know, however, was that even on their grouchiest, most stressed day studying, they were an inspiration. They were the epitome of what a lifelong learner passionate about their craft looks like, and I relished in the opportunity to simply observe them work. Who knew feeling inferior could be so blissful? Their passion and constant willingness to sacrifice their own comfort to become better students made it so easy to celebrate their work. Through their strength and dedication, they taught me how to find incredible joy in the success of others instead of always needing to compete. Although from the beginning, I was awestruck by the aforementioned characteristics, I didn't truly comprehend the depth of their character until I began to understand the humility that these doctors cloaked themselves in. Their humble kindness manifested itself through their perpetual willingness to drop whatever they were doing to help clarify a topic. I mean, in complete transparency, they would reteach the whole cholesterol pathway when all I could offer them was the fact that slugs have 4 noses. But regardless, they encouraged questions and helped me to become confident in my own abilities. In these moments of overwhelming gratefulness, my classmates may have explained various course materials, but more importantly, they taught me how humility welcomes connectedness. With every part of my heart, I hope you accept this offering of gratitude. And if my heart weren't the equivalent of a crusty Cheeto from under your quarantine molded couch, I just might be shedding a tear of tremendous appreciation as I applaud you for being the teachers I never asked for, but always needed. My heart is rich today and every day since I have met you all. Learning to love celebrating the successes of others without desiring it for myself, and gaining a greater understanding of the power of humility are treasures I will carry with me for many years to come. And although I may not be able to practice these values to perfection, if I can exhibit a fraction of the character you have demonstrated, the hospital will be a better place. So, when I drive through the circle to pick up my graduation paperwork, whether I receive my diploma or a stack of Corona immune parking tickets, know that as I step into residency, I will be taking your lessons with me every day, regardless of if I remember my shoes or not. Thank you.
Our invited commencement speaker today is Dr. Deborah Hallenstein. Deborah Hallenstein is an adjunct associate professor of clinical, family, and community medicine here at the University of Missouri School of Medicine. She received her MD in 1988 and completed her residency here in 1991. Her professional and personal activities have focused on working with underserved populations. Dr. Hallenstein was one of the founding faculty advisors for the MedZoo Health Clinic, our student-run free clinic, providing medical care to our community's uninsured. The clinic was opened 11 years ago and has been emulated around the nation. Within the medical school, Dr. Hallenstein has been extensively involved in issues related to diversity, inclusion, and equity. Her teaching activities included areas of culturally effective care, health literacy, barriers to accessing health care, and family violence. Dr. Hallenstein has provided oversight for inclusion training for over 300 educational leaders within the School of Medicine and MU Healthcare. Dr. Hallenstein has received numerous awards, and I know the most meaningful for her are those for which she was chosen by the students. Students nominated her for the AAMC Arnold P. Gold Humanism in Medicine Award twice in the last 3 years. She received the Paul C.J. Sun Distinguished Faculty Award twice for exemplary commitment and dedication to medical student education, and the Robert N. McCallum Student Advocacy Award for outstanding commitment and dedication to the MU School of Medicine and its students. Dr. Hallenstein has been the recipient of the Jane Hickman Teaching Award in recognition of excellence in medical student education. This is the highest teaching award given by the School of Medicine. It gives me great honor to welcome Dr. Hallenstein.
Greetings and congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. What a momentous occasion in an unprecedented time. I am so very honored to be part of this celebration. By all reports, you are a remarkable class. I have had the great pleasure of getting to know many of you. When I asked others how they would describe you, many of them commented on the same characteristics. Almost every one of them used the term altruistic. What a wonderful thing to be concerned about the well-being of others. It has also been said that you are socially conscious, always willing to help, involved with the community, committed to social justice. You have recognized the importance of meeting the healthcare needs of vulnerable populations. You have helped raise awareness of social inequities and racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic biases that impact the care of our patients. 87% of you have been involved with the MedZoo Community Clinic, contributing over 4,500 volunteer hours. Many of you have served in MedZoo leadership roles. Others have provided preventative health services, worked in specialty clinics, or developed therapeutic relationships with individual case management patients. Some of you have responded to an identified community need, and working with students from other classes have been instrumental in the development of a gender-affirming clinic, providing care to uninsured transgender individuals from our community. Several of you have helped organize international humanitarian trips. You've been instrumental in the establishment of the School of Medicine Global Health Scholars Program, and 8 of you have completed the requirements to obtain this certificate. Members of your class have played leadership roles and been engaged in the activities of the Student National Medical Association, a group committed to supporting underrepresented minority students, addressing the needs of underserved communities, and increasing the number of clinically excellent, culturally competent, and socially conscious physicians. You have facilitated diversity and inclusion dialogues, provided advocacy to victims of intimate partner violence, and have been among those who initiated an annual regional summit on the care of transgender and non-binary individuals, which was attended by over 175 providers and members of the community. You have participated in Mini-Med and the Stop the Bleed campaign. You have collaborated with students in other classes to raise awareness of the health implications of gun violence. As a class, you have been described as being creative. Some of you are photographers. Some write music, some are involved in visual arts. You have interwoven your broad range of talents with medicine. Several of you developed a narrative-based photo campaign highlighting experiences of mental health and fostering a community of care. You have played music at St. Baldrick fundraisers. 11 of you have spent the last several years in Springfield. You've been described as being brilliant. Some of the faculty who have worked with you have said that they have learned as much from you as they have taught. Through your interactions with providers and patients, you have been great ambassadors for the School of Medicine in Springfield. I understand that your class is one that collaborates and prides itself in teamwork, and that you genuinely like each other. It has been said that if there was a random selection of any 10 students from your class put together in a room, you would genuinely enjoy each other's company. I know this likely makes it particularly difficult to not be able to be physically together during the last months of your medical school education. This is an unprecedented time. It requires isolation, but highlights our interconnectedness with each other, with our community, and with our global neighbors. It is a time that provides many opportunities for learning. People are stepping up to support each other in beautiful, unexpected ways. As physicians, we know how critical it is to be able to respond quickly. We know that when an individual is injured, has a stroke or a heart attack, being responsive and prepared can make an immense difference in the outcome. In recent months, it's become equally clear how important it is to be nimbly responsive as a healthcare institution and as a community. Our institutional leaders have been involved in intense and thoughtful planning about how to respond to ever-changing needs and challenges. This is a time when there is no roadmap. It is a time that requires flexibility, new solutions, and thinking outside of the box. Your class and other students have risen to the occasion and are responding. You have creatively developed social media messaging to encourage younger individuals to embrace public health measures. You are fundraising in support of local agencies. You have lobbied in support of public health. You recognize that such disasters affect humankind disproportionately and have responded by developing health-literate infographics in multiple languages to disseminate to portions of the population who may not have been reached. Along with other students, you have worked with the local soup kitchen, organized letter writing for isolated nursing home residents, and developed a COVID response team to support the local medical community. As you graduate and move on to the next part of your medical journey, it is clear to me that you are the physicians we need. You are well equipped to make the world a better place. Please continue to be mindful of the disparities that exist and to be a voice for the vulnerable. Practice with a generosity of heart and a sharpness of intellect. May your lives be meaningful, and may you find great joy. I give you my deep-felt congratulations.
It's customary for medical students upon graduation to take an oath in support of their profession. For many years at the University of Missouri, we've selected the Oath of Geneva. This oath is printed on the back of the commencement program. Please repeat after me. At the time of being admitted as a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity.
I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity.
The health and well-being
of my patient
will be my first consideration.
I will respect
the autonomy and dignity
of my patient.
I will maintain
the utmost respect
for human life.
I will not permit
considerations of age,
disease or disability,
creed, ethnic origin, gender,
nationality, political affiliation,
race, sexual orientation,
social standing, or any other factor
to intervene between my duty and my patient.
I will respect the secrets confided in me even after the patient has died. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity in accordance with good medical practice.
I will foster
the honor and noble traditions
of the medical profession.
I will give to my teachers,
colleagues, and students
the respect and gratitude that is their due.
I will share my medical knowledge
for the benefit of the patient
and the advancement of healthcare.
I will attend to my own health,
well-being, and abilities
in order to provide care of the highest standard.
I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights
and civil liberties,
even under threat.
Even under threat.
I make these promises.
I make these promises.
I make these promises
solemnly,
freely,
and upon my honor.
We're nearing the time at which each graduate will be recognized. One by one, members of the class of 2020 will have their name read for our virtual hooding. Wearing a hood as part of academic regalia signifies achievement of the doctoral degree. The color of the velvet outside of the hood represents the degree the wearer has earned. In this case, green for medicine. In addition, the silk inside the lining shows the colors of the school from which the wearer has received the degree. In a live hooding, members of the class of 2020 would have hoods with a black and gold lining. Each year, the graduating class honors members of the faculty by electing them as investiture marshals to assist with the donning of the doctoral hoods. It is a real honor to be selected as an investiture marshal. Even though we aren't able to have our in-person commencement with hooding, I want to take a moment to recognize them. It is my privilege to introduce the investiture marshals for the class of 2020. Dr. Nathan Buki. Dr. Buki is Associate Professor of Clinical Child Health. Dr. Marcia Hernandez. Dr. Hernandez is the Associate Clerkship Director and Assistant Professor of Clinical Obstetrics, Gynecology, and Women's Health at our Springfield Clinical Campus. Dr. Anesh Tosh. Dr. Tosh is Professor of Clinical Child Health. Here we go. We present the class of 2020. Kenan Abu Qasim.
Faria Ahmed.
Melissa Lily Ann.
Megan Shelby Anderson.
Scott William Burnt.
Abigail Morgan Berry.
Kirsten Beer Benz.
Molly Suzanne Bliss.
Sarah Mariah Peth Bonert.
Toby McGill Bradford.
Drew Jackson Brait.
Margaret Kindler Brennan.
Samantha R. Brunk.
Victoria Brandis Bisher.
Kelsey Buskin.
Trina Chin.
David Clark.
Derek C. Davis.
Matthew Davis.
Savannah Nicole Davis.
Aaron Ehlers.
Jacob Emerson Elfrink.
Lindsay Ellis.
Zachary Paul Fleming.
Delvis Forquay.
Dennis Cayenne Fong.
Andrew Garoni.
Michelle Gary.
Melissa Ann Gasper.
Lauren E. Gillespie.
Andrea Kramer Goldstein.
David Alexander Goodson.
Andrew Giat.
Pulchery Guisu.
Samantha Hartnett.
Matthew Hirabayashi.
Bryce Holscher.
Joshua Franklin Hollingshead.
Carmen Ray Holmes.
Bradford McCoy Hutchison.
Aaron Jahan Suzy.
Jordan M. Jensen.
Cassie Jiha.
Alex Olivia Katubig.
Brian Patrick Keneally.
Richard Lewis Kesey.
Lindsay Marie Kerprick.
Sarah Krokmalnik.
Laura Kruzniak.
Ryan Ladd.
Kane Matthew Locks.
Christopher Lee.
Hillary Lee.
Megan Francis Lee.
Jacob Andrew Leshy.
Dalton James Losant.
Laura Ann Mice.
Varun Manohara.
Julia Matera.
Megan Emily McCall.
Sam McMillan.
Catherine Alexandra Maidal.
Amy Elizabeth Meyer.
Grace A. Milburn.
Justine Louise Milligan.
Emily Mills.
Callie Fletcher Morris.
Lisa Morris.
Patrick Fleming Morse.
Andrew Wesley Moulton.
Connor Ryan Mullen.
Ruben Nitewi.
Manaj Palavali.
Hannah Ruth Pancoast.
Melanie Nanette Pancos.
Emil Umesh Putel.
Andrew Jacob Polk.
Vikram Panusami.
Elena Christina Randazzo.
Aaron Reynolds.
Colby A. Rickliffs.
John Rocket.
Daniel Romaine.
Jeffrey Scott Ruggieri.
Parker Trent Russell.
Ashwith Jonathan Sampath.
Haley Elizabeth Shear.
Thomas Michael Schmidtdeal.
Philip Schukert.
Jessica Diane Schofield.
Nicole Dondimitrik Selden.
Shalvinder Sira.
Harsh Kumar Shrivastava.
Omar Ahmed Teranisi.
Maxton Edward Thoman.
Sarah Townsley.
Sarah Mai Trung.
Garrett Ungerer.
Ravi Upajayula.
Elliot Edward Voss.
Charles Richard Waldy.
Kyle Warren.
Allison Watkins.
Lauren Welby.
Miranda S. Westoff.
Jenna Nicole Whitrock.
Junaid Toker Yassin.
Joseph Zimmer.
And now I'd like to welcome the Dean of the University of Missouri School of Medicine, Dr. Zweig, to confer the degrees on the School of Medicine class of 2020.
With the authority vested in me by the Board of Curators of the University of Missouri, it is my privilege to now formally confer upon each graduating senior the degree of Doctor of Medicine, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, class of 2020. Many awards are given at our annual Honors and Awards Convocation. While this year we were not able to have that in-person convocation, we did give those awards to the appropriate recipients. It is our tradition, however, to reserve for commencement some very special awards that I will now announce. First is the Dean's Award for Outstanding Achievement in Academic and Clinical Proficiency. This award is given to the student with the best academic and clinical record throughout medical school. This year, this award goes to Dr. Garrett Ungerer. The Holt Leadership Award is provided by two alumni of the School of Medicine, Drs. Jean and Richard Holt. Dr. Jean Holt is a faculty member, and Dr. Richard Holt is Professor Emeritus at the University of Texas Health Sciences Center in San Antonio. At MU, he is a scholar at the Center for Health Ethics and adjunct professor in the Department of Otolaryngology. This award is presented to the graduating student or students who best exemplify the highest moral, ethical, and leadership traits, and who serve as a peer role model, have served in student leadership roles, and provided service to the School of Medicine above and beyond the normal call. This award is chosen by Drs. Jean and Richard Holt from a list provided by the Faculty Awards and Scholarship Committee. This year, 2 individuals will receive this award: Dr. Abigail Barry and Dr. Jordan Jensen. The Student Leadership Award is presented to a member of the graduating class who has been selected by a vote of his or her classmates on the following criteria: evidence of leadership qualities, peer acceptance as a potential leader in professional activities, a student who is a doer, and one who characteristically assumes leadership in the formal day-to-day activities of the student community. This year's award goes to Dr. Colby Rickliffs.
Good afternoon, doctors. Wow, how does that feel? It's officially official. You've taken the oath, your name has been read, we have walked across the virtual stage of our hearts, and we are doctors. Ever since we sat together in Jesse Hall for our white coat ceremony, I've imagined what it would feel like to be back in that room together on our graduation day. Well, none of us could have expected graduation to look quite like this, but I'm no less honored to be here. And since we can't be physically together, and I tragically cannot look out at your strikingly beautiful faces, I decided to bring you all here with me. This way, I feel like I'm looking out at all of you after all. As I sat thinking about what I wanted to share with you today, I did a lot of sentimental reflection and reminiscing, which is very on brand for me. And one thing I realized was this: what we just went through was not normal. The medical school experience is so unique and challenging and weird and wonderful that it can feel impossible to find the words to sum it up. Well, I tried anyway. And what I want to share with you today is my one-word summary from each year of medical school, inspired by us, the class of 2020. Let's get started. I want you to close your eyes and go back in time with me to M1 year. Adrenaline is high. White coats are fresh. Stethoscopes are shiny and new, and we have no clue what to do with them. Some of us still don't. We're starting from the bottom, literally. We are all gathered in the basement of the nursing building in our PBL labs. The rooms are small, windowless, kind of creepy, but kind of cozy, and there may or may not be cockroaches around. But it is block 1, week 1, and we are ready to present our first objectives. At least 8 of you out there had the objective pregnancy, yep, all of it, and a handful were even responsible for how to interpret labs. Yeah, all of them too, I guess. Little did we know, the months to come would require some of the most intense focus and resiliency of our lives. Need I mention the trauma of the CRE? Parents and loved ones who are watching, this exam required us to exercise both our clinical reasoning, of which we had virtually none, hence the aforementioned objectives, as well as our physical bodies, as we literally ran with our printed papers to meet 4 different deadlines throughout the day. Did you guys know it's online now? The youths will truly never understand what we went through. Not to mention the adventures of anatomy lab, dramatic town hall meetings, and at least one very cringy lecture. Nevertheless, we persisted. The word for M1 year? Fortitude. Enter M2 year, which came with many promising new features, such as our brand new medical school building, the Patient-Centered Care Learning Center, which of course had to become the pickle. This year also brought the perk of not feeling quite as clueless as we were in 1 year. Remember how scared we all were of Block 5? But look, we all made it. During M2 year, we really started to bud into the clinical thinkers we are today. What occupied most of our time and our thoughts and emotions that year, however, was, of course, Step 1. Families and friends, you remember this exam. Actually, I think anyone who supported a graduate during Step 1 study time deserves a special thank you right now. You are all amazing. We are so sorry, and we don't deserve you. Now, back to the graduates. Does anyone else remember the construction that was conveniently happening in the library during those months of studying? And what about that one guy on the 3rd floor who would get out his Tupperware of salad every day and shake it like he was playing the maracas or something? You know who you are, Maxton. And we can't forget the crew of M2s who were so devoted to their Anki flashcards and their fitness that they walked an actual marathon's worth of laps around the 6th floor of the Pickle in one day. Not an exaggeration. And if the stress of Step 1 wasn't enough, med school had even more obstacles to throw at us. Remember the simulation lab professionalism slips we had to sign if we were only 14 minutes early instead of 15? Or that one time the OME started putting stickers on our CREs? Guys, M2 year required us all to level up. But in the end, we did it. How amazing did it feel to get on the other side of Step 1? With a 100% pass rate, mind you. So proud of us. The word for M2 year has to be grit. M3 year brought us a much needed change of pace. Interaction with real human patients. Many of us doubted our ability to engage appropriately in social settings after 2 years of studying all the time. But the clinical scene is really where we shined. Think back to how it felt to see your first patient. I remember telling a man with cellulitis on my internal med rotation that he was the very first patient I ever took care of. Do you remember yours? It was such an empowering feeling to finally start taking all the knowledge we'd spent so much time cramming into our brains and finally using it to help real people. But of course, the transition wasn't always so graceful. There were days when our confidence was absolutely crushed on rounds. Days when we realized we'd run out of clean clinical attire, when we showed up without our stethoscopes, when we confidently started a presentation only to realize it was on the wrong patient. And of course, all those evenings when we asked our senior residents the classic, "Anything else I can help with?" But unfortunately did not get the answer we wanted. "Yeah, you can go home now." Not to mention the uniquely terrifying experience of being pimped in the OR, where after preparing excessively for a surgery, you still aren't able to answer that one peripherally related question. No, we weren't always totally put together. But you know what element of professionalism we all always had with us? That's right, our pagers. Thank goodness we invested our loan money in those bad boys. Can you believe they're getting rid of them this year? I personally can't imagine providing excellent clinical care or being an essential part of the patient care team without my pager. All jokes aside, I think M3 year was one of the best in many ways. Despite the challenges, I watched as all of you fell into your grooves, discovered the specialties in medicine that you all really loved, and most of all, I watched as you selflessly and genuinely cared for your patients. That's why my one-word summary for M3 year is compassion. And that brings us to our final year together, M4 year. What a whirlwind it has been. From spreading out across the country on away rotations, to navigating the stress of residency applications, to spreading out again along the interview trail, and for some of us even traveling across the globe, it's been a busy year. And just when things started to wind down for us, we all faced the unexpected. This pandemic has definitely changed the end of our M4 year. Match day looked different, graduation looks different, and now we're even facing some uncertainty as we look ahead to the start of residency. Though it's been totally disappointing that we couldn't enjoy this time together in person, I have to say I'm really proud to be surrounded by a group of people who responded to this circumstance with such kindness, such understanding, and such optimism. Not only have you made the most of the alternative celebrations we've come up with, but you've come together to serve our community, to support each other, and to create joy and fun and meaning for each other. These are qualities that not just any group of people possesses, and I know it will serve you well in your careers as physicians and leaders. You know who you are and what you want and what you have to offer, and you're not afraid to step out and do something. For that reason, the word I've chosen for M4 year is confidence. Is there a more impressive group of humans to exist than the MU School of Medicine class of 2020? I mean it. Your future patients will be so lucky to have you. At graduation a few years ago, the class president, Molly Johnson, calculated how many patients her class would collectively care for throughout their careers, and I thought that was really cool. So I reached out to her, and using her formula, here's what I've come up with. Accounting for weekends off, work, optimistic, and 21 vacation days, again, optimistic, we'll each work about 240 days per year. If we conservatively say we'll each see about 12 patients per day and work for, let's say, the next 30 years, that's 86,400 patients for each of us. And that's not counting repeat visits, so let's knock it down to a clean 60,000 patients per graduate by the time we retire. Multiply that by the number of doctors graduating today in this class, and that comes to 6.4 million patients. And that's not even factoring in residency or fellowship. So probably more than 6.4 million patients. That is the magnitude of our impact as the MU School of Medicine class of 2020. And you know what? It makes me so happy because I can't think of a group of people I would trust more to use this opportunity to leave the world better off than when we found it. What a gift to have made this journey with you. I'm leaving here today with more fortitude, more grit, more compassion, and more confidence than I ever thought possible. And I hope you are too. Of all the years I could have started medical school, I am so glad I started in 2016 at Mizzou Med so I could share this day with every single one of you. Back when we first started medical school, so many people told us about the potential we had to leave this place with friendships that would last a lifetime. When I heard that, I wanted to believe it, but I just didn't know for sure. Today, I have this undeniable feeling that what they told us back then was true. And I just have to say thank you. I love you. Congratulations. Let's go get them.
Before we finish, I want to particularly thank all of the medical education staff for their thoughtful and innovative work with today's virtual commencement event, and for all the support that they provide for our educational programs. In addition, we could not have done this without the excellent support and expertise of our public relations, communications, and video teams. Thank you. And this concludes our School of Medicine virtual commencement ceremony for 2020. To the class of 2020, congratulations and best wishes.